So Nate, you're very different to other CFOs. I keep saying that. But one of the things is most CFOs are numbers, numbers, numbers. You've got a higher level of obsession with time management. Why is that?
Yeah, good question. So I guess to preface the answer here, I should clarify that most of the folks that I deal with are on the earlier stage. Most of the people that I deal with are doing, 7 figures, and occasionally I work with, 8-figure brands. A common theme with all of these people is that they're either completely bootstrapped or, at very best, they have a very limited and small amount of cash or capital that they're playing with. Now, most people think that the CFO's job is just to, worry about and focus on money, right? And as the old saying goes, Rich, I'm sure you've heard this before, time equals money. And so if you don't have a lot of money to be investing and playing with, then really the primary asset or resource that we're investing here is time, right? So the value of the time that we're putting into these businesses in many cases is the most valuable asset that's actually on the line and that's being invested here. I think some of the most successful founders that I've had the pleasure of interacting with are incredibly good at one thing. And it's about figuring out what is the 80 or 90% of noise and shiny objects and distractions that they should be ignoring. And the flip side, like what is the 10 or 20% that they should actually care about and be investing all their time into? That might be engineering. It might be product design. It might be negotiating with suppliers. It could be about creative, influence and management. And that means basically putting the balls in front of them that they're most likely to be able to kick into the goal. Because, our time and attention and resources are incredibly limited here. And we don't want to screw around, kicking balls that we don't know how to kick. So what we then do is basically introduce this framework, which I borrowed from a guy named Sahil Bloom. And essentially what you're looking at here is 2 axes. On the x-axis, we're looking at your skill level. On the y-axis, we're looking at your enjoyment level. So on the top right, you've got what we call the zone of genius. This is where you're absolutely in your element, doing stuff that you're really good at and you also enjoy. On the left-hand side, top left, you've got the hobby zone. And this is where we have skills that you're not that good at, but you kind of find them fun. You enjoy them. Because you get enjoyment from them, you're likely to practice them. And as that happens, it's likely that some tasks will kind of drift from the hobby zone into the zone of genius if you give it enough time. In the bottom right, you've got what we call the danger zone, which is stuff you might be good at, but it just leaves you feeling crappy afterwards. Like you just don't enjoy it. So try to figure out a way that you can train someone else on the team to do that thing. Then you've got the doomed zone on the bottom left, which is, kind of fail and fail in terms of the 2 axes here. The idea behind this is to bring clarity to what are the problems or projects that you as a founder or you as a founding team are particularly well positioned to take on. So in my own business, I've recognized that, although I enjoy video editing and I find it kind of fun, I'm really not that good at it. So what have I done? Well, I've outsourced it, right? I found someone who's better at it than me. Because what we really need to find is what is a formula for growth that you are uniquely positioned to succeed at.
I find this so valuable for myself as well, my business. What this approach does is it's taking for a founder the real cost of their time, not just money prioritization. So they're thinking about their time in terms of return on investment. But whether you're getting someone else, training another person or hiring an expert, you've got to make the decision based not just on money, but on your time as well, right?